Hello, Sagittarius, and welcome to my channel, Tarot by Gabrielle. This is going to be a general reading for Sun, Moon, Rising, and Venus signs for May 2023, looking at your recent, past, current energy, and immediate future, answering the question, what do you need to know right now in order to heal and move forward in alignment with your higher self? As always, I've gone ahead and pulled the overall oracle cards for the reading as well as the overall theme of the reading. I've actually clarified them this week with a separate tarot deck, so we'll be using three tarot decks in the reading, including the extended. So I already have the deck shuffle that we'll be diving into, as well as those decks that we'll be using in the extended. Then I have this clarifying deck shuffle just in case I want to use it, but we will see. Any information on the extended reading or on booking a personal reading with me is in the description box below. All right, Sagittarius. In your recent past, you have confidence is your key to success with the 10 of Swords in reverse. The worst is over, is what I'm feeling here, because I really feel like you guys have been in a pretty painful energy for quite some time now. Now, I also feel like this painful energy in a very backwards way has built your confidence. Almost like maybe you had to lose it to gain it. You had to lose your power to gain it. And I feel like you're in an energy now of freeing yourself from this 10 of Swords. Now, I know this is your recent past, but this to me is more telling me not necessarily what happened in your recent past, but more the purpose for your recent past. So we'll get more energy on like what actually went down when we dive into tarot. But I do see that you've been kind of healing and releasing some pretty painful energy. Now, in your current energy, you have it's time to take action with the Ace of Swords. I feel like there's some sort of a breakthrough that's coming through for you, Sagittarius. And it's going to help you move forward in a very powerful way. Because this whole reading, it feels like, and I'll talk about the overall theme of the reading in a second, but it feels like freeing yourself from something. I guess the overall energy for the reading is liberation. So like freeing yourself. I don't necessarily know if it's from a painful energy, a painful relationship, just a painful situation in general, or just kind of moving forward out of a kind of a yucky energy. But there is some sort of a breakthrough, some clarity that's trying to make its way to you right now. In your immediate future, you have a new start is coming with the 5 of Coins in reverse. What this is telling me is that anything that has been lost will be replaced by something better, because it's almost like this new start will make you, it will release this sense of loss. You won't feel like you've lost anything at all, which is usually the way it goes, right? Every loss is the opportunity for a gain, and as long as we heal and learn what we need to, then everything that we gain is going to be better than what is gone. But of course, that's not so easy to understand and really truly internalize when you're in the thick of it, when you're in the thick of healing. But like I said, the overall theme for the reading is liberation with the 8 of Swords in reverse. This 8 of Swords in reverse is also kind of this, a card of like freeing yourself. Now, this is more freeing yourself for me from like trapped limiting beliefs, but remember, your beliefs are the root of your reality. So whatever you believe about yourself and about your reality and about what's, possible for you in the future is going to be what you experience. And if you've been experiencing limiting beliefs, this feels like whatever happened was helping you liberate yourself from these limiting beliefs so that you can have this breakthrough, so that you can move forward to a new beginning. So it really is kind of that concept of like everything is happening for you, not to you. But of course, we're human beings having a real human experience, experiencing real emotions and real pain. And that it's easy to look at the higher level picture and be like, yeah, this is all happening for you. But it's not so easy to feel that when you are going through that. So I do understand that. All right, recent past for Sagittarius, clarifying confidence is your key to success with the 10 of Swords in reverse. It says confidence is your key to success with the 10 of Swords in reverse. Or confidence is your key to success with the 10 of Swords in reverse. This is recent past for Sagittarius, please. Ooh, yeah. Really triggering recent past. Knight of Cups in reverse, 6 of Pentacles. And there's that 5 of Pentacles with the 3 of Wands here. So same 5 of Pentacles. It's in reverse in your immediate future, but there was definitely some sort of a loss in your recent past. And it kind of feels like, I don't know, the 6 of Pentacles is interesting because it feels like maybe you were expecting to receive or expecting for things to get better, and they didn't. It may have even gotten worse. But I also feel like it was setting you up for something better. It's like what you expected didn't turn out the way that you wanted it to, but what you're wanting is ultimately trying to make its way to you, even if you can't see or understand it at this time. Recent past for Sagittarius, please. Recent past. Ooh, goodness sakes. Okay. Recent past for Sagittarius. Two of Cups and the Star. Ace of Wands, Devil. There's the Eight of Swords. We have it in reverse right there. Interesting. Okay, hang on. And there's the Ten of Wands and the Four of Wands on the back of the deck. Okay. This Two of Cups to me, it's speaking of this like, okay, so the reason I'm doing that is you can see these, it's like two sides are kind of intertwining. And what this is kind of telling me, okay, I'm really reading into the imagery of this card right now, because it's like the dark and the light, right? You have this dark and the light. It's the good and the bad that happens in your life is what builds your strength, right? I see this lion. It's kind of that strength. And it's that reminder, and this came out in another reading this week. It was an earth sign. I think it was Capricorn. But it's that reminder that the good cannot happen without the bad. And the good, or the bad, excuse me, prepares you for the good. I think about how, and I'm just reading these two cards right now, and I'll get to these in a second, but I'm thinking, when I was in kind of stuck in a not so good place, I realized after some time that I had to break myself out of it. And I was stuck, dealing with toxic relationships and just toxic work environments and things like that. When I was able to break myself out of it, and it's difficult to do, but when I was able to do that and move forward and start to choose better for myself, I realized that I was wanting things to be better, but I wasn't yet, like in the past, but I wasn't yet ready for them. And I had to go through everything I went through to get ready for the things that I wanted to receive in my life. And so what I'm getting at is this feels like this reminder, and specifically with what went down in your recent past, that this bad, quote unquote, it literally was preparing you for the good. Now, you have this Eight of Swords with the Devil here, right? And this, it's the same Eight of Swords in reverse as we have right here. This is like trapped in experiences that are rooted kind of in this devil energy. Now, this devil energy, it's not like, it's like attachment, right? Like attachment to certain experiences or certain outcomes or certain people or certain situations or certain cycles. And it's rooted in what you believe about your reality. So for instance, we often stay in toxic relationships or toxic environments because we believe that that's what we have to do. That breaking out of it, we're not able to break out of a relationship because there's all of these factors involved that are keeping us stuck, right? Or, we hope for the potential of something for a potential outcome, and so we stay in situations that make us unhappy because, we want things to get better, even though they never really do. And that attachment to our expectations and our way of doing things keeps us trapped in experiencing that pain. And until we get to a certain point where it's too painful, where we can finally break out of that energy, we do keep ourselves stuck. Now, all of this to say that we, as human beings, with this Five of Wands here, we resist our own abundance. And we resist it because pain and suffering and survival mode becomes our level of comfort. It becomes what we are so used to experiencing. Therefore, we get to a point where we're almost subconsciously choosing it. Now remember, 95% of your movements, choices, and decisions are subconscious. Only 5% of the way that you interact with your reality comes from your conscious mind. Meaning, you can consciously want better for yourself, but your subconscious beliefs are taking over and choosing situations that don't align with what you want. And that's the resistance. So in order for us to change our reality, we have to change the way that we believe. And it comes down to the fact that sometimes, a lot of the time, it works from the way that we have to learn our lessons the hard way. But when we can look at it from the bigger picture and say, okay, the worst is over, that sucked, that was painful, but I know I never want to go back there again, and I know that I'm in control of my healing to be able to move forward with something better. The more that we can do that, the better and more like fulfilled we'll start to feel, because we start to embrace the good and the bad. You can't have the bad or the good without the bad. Now this Ace of Wands, to me, it's kind of this, it's speaking of this action in a way. And it's almost like this set you up for something is what I'm feeling here now. I do see that this was painful, but it set you up for something. Recent past for Sagittarius. The Ace of Cups, the Hangman in reverse, and there's the Strength in reverse. So this is that lack of confidence. It's lack of faith in yourself. It's lack of faith in your worth and your capabilities and, just whatever it is that has to do with this situation. So this is a general reading. But you have this Ace of Cups and the Hangman in reverse. You were holding on to something because it's almost like that attachment, like you were holding on to that attachment because like with this Ace of Cups, like you were waiting on it to improve or waiting on it to like start again, or like this Ace of Cups, like it's new emotional beginning, right? It's like you were holding on to it like because you were hoping it went back to how it was before, or you were hoping things of it, like you living for the potential of something, right? But that's because you didn't have confidence that if you were able to let go and move forward, that something better would take its place. So holding on to it was easier than letting go, because living for the potential and experiencing that disappointment and that pain, and I actually posted a video on this earlier this week about like breaking that cycle of disappointment, but that disappointment and that pain, it becomes so familiar and so predictable that it's so hard to embrace the unknown of, okay, well, what if I do let go? What if I do try to choose something better for myself? It's like, well, I don't know what's going to happen because that's new. It's new territory. It's the unknown, and that's scary, which goes back to that Three of Wands that I saw. All right, current energy here for Sagittarius, clarifying it's time to take action with the Ace of Swords. So what is this breakthrough? What is this breakthrough here, Sagittarius? One more. Ace of Swords, it's time to take action. Current energy for Sagittarius. The Seven of Pentacles in reverse. See, now you're in this, Eight of Swords in reverse. I was going to say, now you're in this energy of reevaluating how you want to move forward. Because you know you don't want to experience this pain again. You know that. So now it's almost like you've set yourself up for being able to say, okay, if my past actions led me to that, what can I do differently this time around to not experience that? And that's what's releasing yourself here from these limiting beliefs. It's you are literally setting yourself free from having to experience this kind of pain, this kind of painful cycle. That's why the worst is behind you. Now, if you choose to repeat this, if you choose to look at it from a place of all that happened to me and I am a victim and I'm never, I'm not going to learn anything from it and I'm not, going to grow and heal from it, and I'm just going to repeat the cycle, right? If you're looking at it from that way, and that, again, subconscious beliefs, right? That means that the pain will kind of repeat itself. Now, I feel like if you're watching my channel, just because of the nature of my readings being, kind of pushing that uncomfortable truth, pushing you to try to grow and see what you need to see in order to move forward. My intention for my readings literally being, what do you need to see in order to move forward in alignment with your higher self, right? then I feel like that's probably not you. I feel like, you know, if you're watching my readings and you take what you need to from them, then you're looking at it from a place of, okay, what do I need to do differently to live and experience differently? And that is absolutely the way that you need to look at things. You know, healing, a part of healing, and this is something that I will preach till the end of time on this channel, is that you have to also take responsibility for your own role in your suffering. If you are constantly saying it's everybody else's fault, this situation happened to me, they did this to me, you know, everything bad goes, you know, everything bad happens to me in my life. If you look at that, if you look at it from the place of a victim mentality, and I'm not saying you aren't a victim. You very well could have been a victim of some pretty painful stuff. So I'm not invalidating that. What I'm saying is there's two ways to move forward, right? You can choose to be a victim, or you can choose to learn from it, grow from it, heal from it, and not have to experience it again. And that's what I'm trying to help the people on my channel do is take back your power. So in this energy, you're having you're in this energy of reevaluating, of trying to figure out, okay, what now? If I don't want to go back there, what now? Current energy for Sagittarius. Current energy for Sagittarius. I do really feel like the worst is behind you. There's the Hermit, Queen of Cups in reverse, Star, Fool in reverse. Okay. And there's the Eight of Swords. Man, this Eight of Swords is everywhere in this reading. Okay. Right now is definitely a time of like solitude and introspection for you. And if you aren't doing that, you should be. Because I feel like this breakthrough is only going to come from within. Now, you might be able to pick up bits and pieces from things that you've experienced, you know, signs, messages, tarot readings, conversations with other people. But at the end of the day, this breakthrough is going to come from within. And it basically, to me, looks like needing to shine a light. If you see, like, he's holding this lamp, right? Needing to shine a light on these limiting beliefs. What limiting beliefs, what Eight of Swords led to this? Was it that you didn't feel you deserved better? Was it that you didn't believe that unconditional love was possible? Was it that transactional love is the way that you've always experienced things? Was it that financial abundance has never come easy, therefore you don't believe it can? You know, what limiting belief led to this? And then the more that you can see that, the more you can heal from this, you know, painfully emotional experience with the Star and the Queen of Cups in reverse. Now, this Queen of Cups in reverse to me is like emotional imbalance, like letting your emotion win in a way. You're a human being, like I said, experiencing real painful situations and experiencing the emotions associated with that. So there's nothing to be ashamed of, right, when it comes to your emotions. But you have to learn that those emotions, they aren't truth. So for instance, when I was healing from a pretty abusive relationship in my past, I had times where I missed that relationship. I missed him. And I would feel shame for that because I'd be like, I shouldn't miss him. He treated me horribly. And I learned that just adds a level of shame to my healing. I felt the way I did because that's just how I felt. And I didn't need to rationalize it. I didn't need to understand it. I didn't need to feel bad for it. I needed to learn to just be like, yeah, this is how I feel right now. And when I was able to accept that, I could process that emotion and let it, you know, kind of leave my body and it go back out into the ocean. Because remember, emotions are like waves. They sweep over you. You experience them. They're intense. However intense they need to be, you feel it in your body. You feel it in your heart. You feel it in your soul. And then it flushes back out into the ocean. And you no longer have to hold that and carry that weight. Now, a lot of people have a tendency to feel that emotion and then do whatever they can to not have to experience it and store it in their body. And then you start to experience pains and sicknesses and emotional outbursts without really understanding them. And I'm saying all of this to say that as you're healing, you're going to be experiencing these waves of emotions. And the more that you can learn to process through them without judgment, do not judge yourself for them. Do not judge the way you feel. Do not try to make sense of it. Do not try to understand why you feel this way or how you can stop feeling this way. Understand that, first and foremost, every emotion is temporary. Eventually, you will feel different than you feel in each and every moment. And second of all, you have to process it. The only way through it is through it. And again, I say that because right now, you're in this introspection period. And if you can process through everything that you're experiencing right now, you will have a pretty, a pretty, like the best way I can explain it is like cool breakthrough, like freeing, like a very freeing breakthrough here. Because there's a new beginning. There is this new start, the Fool in reverse. It's trying to come to you, but it can't. And it can't until you fully process through the pain that you have experienced. So understand that you're in a time of processing, of reevaluating, of introspection, of healing. And healing is painful. I mean, like, it's amazing and it leads you to some really cool places, but it sucks. And you have to work through it in order to get through it. Or you can store it and repeat cycles. It's up to you. All right, current energy for Sagittarius. Clarifying it's time to take action with the Ace of Swords. Now, I want to know what this action is. Maybe it is just the healing. Maybe it is the introspection, and that's why I'm going so deep on how to process emotions. Current energy for Sagittarius. There's the Sun in reverse. Okay. With the Page, I feel like I need to pull more. Clarifying the Sun in reverse. Clarifying the Sun in reverse energy for Sagittarius, please. The Nine of Wands in reverse. Okay. Your ego is your biggest obstacle. This is really hitting on that video I posted earlier this week. Because your ego, it does not mean you're an egotistical person. That's not what I'm saying. But your ego, we all have it, right? It's a defense, protective mechanism. We all need it to survive. But if we give it too much control, if we give it too much power, it can sabotage us. Because your ego, it loves control. It loves predictability. It likes to know exactly how things are going to feel. And so when you're experiencing painful cycles, when you're stuck in a painful cycle in particular, your ego prefers that. Because though it's painful, it's predictable. You know exactly how it's going to feel. You know exactly what that experience is going to be like. And therefore, there's no unknowns, you know? And so your ego, if you allow it, will keep you trapped in pain and comfort zones that are not good for you because it wants that control. It will sabotage your abundance because it wants that control. And I was talking about that when I talked about that resistance. How we as human beings resist our own abundance because it's living an abundant life where you are in a relationship or a marriage with the perfect person for you. You're pursuing your passion. You have financial abundance coming to you with ease. You're living wherever you want to. You're traveling if you want to. You're experiencing the life of your dreams. That, to you, that's uncomfortable. Because that, you don't know what that feels like. You have no idea what that level of abundance feels like. You do, however, know what pain and suffering and unhappiness feels like. And so your ego is like, well, I'd rather just continue to experience that because that unknown, that's scary. That unknown is too much for me. And so your ego right now is your biggest obstacle. Your ego doesn't want you to process emotion. Your ego doesn't want you to move forward. Your ego doesn't want you to face uncomfortable truths. Your ego wants you to stay exactly where you are because that is the safest place to be according to your ego. All right, immediate future for Sagittarius, clarifying a new start is coming with the Five of Pentacles in reverse. And immediate future for Sagittarius, clarifying the Five of Pentacles in reverse, please. The Queen of Pentacles. Ooh, okay. The Nine of Swords and the Devil. Ooh, okay. And then the Knight of Wands in reverse. So here's the thing. You're coming up as the Queen of Pentacles, whether you're male or female. And I know you're a fire sign, but you're coming up as the Queen of Pentacles because, especially with this Four of Pentacles on the back of the deck here, this has to do with, like, your sense of stability. Like, you know, life is about building and, you know, things kind of crashing down and having to rebuild and so on and so forth. Nothing in life is temporary. Everything, you know, is constantly moving and changing. But as long as you have a solid foundation, you always have something to come back to. And that foundation is going to be your inner world, your inner environment. Now, what I'm saying by that is the more that you look for your circumstances to provide you with a sense of stability, the more disappointed you're going to be and the more anxiety-driven your life will be. Because you will be constantly working toward things out of fear of them not happening instead of pursuing things, people, relationships, jobs, friendships, whatever the case is, for the sake of just passion and experience. Now, the more that you attach yourself to certain outcomes and certain people and certain situations, the more that you are going to find yourself sabotaging the experience that your soul ultimately wants to have. And your immediate future is about realizing that what you lose in life, it's never really a loss. No loss is actually a loss. That doesn't mean that you don't feel the loss. Remember, going back to what I was talking about, you can feel a certain way about something and that doesn't make it a truth. But every loss is not a loss. And every single thing that moves away from our life opens the door for something better to take its place. But also, every loss comes with a lesson. And if that lesson isn't learned, that loss will repeat itself until you experience the lesson that you need to, so that you can grow, heal, and move forward to the next. Now, that's an uncomfortable truth to have to face, because what we look for as humans, what your ego looks for, is certainty and predictability. And nothing in this life is certain, especially not for the long term. And so what I'm getting at is this immediate future is realizing how you sabotage your own abundance by focusing on what you think you want instead of what is going to be best for you. And I feel like that is going to lead you to realizing that you don't, it's almost like you're holding on to this past pain. Because I feel like you think like, oh, I'm never going to be as happy as I was then, or I'm never going to get through this, or I'm never going to be able to move forward. I'm never going to meet someone like them again. I'm never going to feel the way I did again. I'm never going to, the best is behind me, right? No, the worst is behind you, right? As long as you allow yourself to heal, move forward, and kind of find what you need to, then you can find that inner stability of saying, you know what? Okay, I am, just constantly experience change, and the more that I can have that faith that the universe is always providing me with what I want, then the more that I can grow and heal and shift and go with the flow, essentially, right? If it leaves, let it. If it comes, let it. If it leaves, let it. And just kind of allow life to happen for you and not feel like it's happening to you, because we create our own suffering in our mind, and we create it with our attachment to how we think things should be. Immediate future for Sagittarius, clarifying a new start is coming. There, look at that. This tower that happened, it's helping you work through your resistance to the things that are actually abundant. The tower, the way that things fell apart, this experience that you had, this painful experience, it is literally helping you work through resistance. And and it's happening slow. It's a slow process, but it is happening, and it's allowing things to come into a balance for you. So understand that though things might feel not so great right now, you really are setting yourself up for something so much better than what you were expecting or wanting to happen. So you can have faith in that, as long as you heal. Immediate future for Sagittarius, please. One more for Sagittarius' immediate future. Oh, okay. There's the Chariot, and there's the Six of Pentacles, and then you have your High Priestess. I know I flipped those around. They feel like I picked them up, and it literally felt like it was like, so those are definitely right side up. Your intuition, your higher self is trying to guide you forward. It's trying to guide you forward in a way that can help you receive. And what it's needing you to do is to turn inward. And, that's one of my goals with my readings is I'm not here to give you guys the answers. I don't have all of the answers. I don't claim to have all of the answers. I do, however, believe that I can help guide you within, because all of the answers you need lie within. When I first started my journey, my spiritual journey, that used to make me so mad when people would say that. What do you mean they lie within? I don't know anything, If they were within, I'd understand it. And then I learned about meditation and journaling and, communicating with the universe and understanding things from a higher perspective and all of that. And it really is just kind of it's a skill you have to learn. And we all have it. We all have intuition. We all have, gifts and abilities to communicate with the universe. You just have to figure out what yours is and how to really tune into that. And some of you probably have. But what I'm getting at with all of this is your intuition is really trying to make things happen for you. Your higher self is really, really trying to help you receive what it is you ultimately deserve. But your limiting beliefs and your ego, being your biggest obstacle, is keeping you from that. So try to tap into this intuition a little bit more, so that you can ultimately, this is literally trying to lead you to what you want. It's trying to lead you to the experiences that are going to make you the happiest, that are going to fulfill you the most. All right, Sagittarius, we are going to hop on over to the extended. I am going to jump deeper into these messages, and then I have some advice to pull as well as an actual advice card to pull from the end from Spirit. Thank you so much, as always, Sagittarius, for the support of my channel. It means more than you know, and it helps me out more than you know. So thank you. And as always, I wish you nothing but love and healing on your journey moving forward. All right, bye, Sagittarius. Oh, I lied. Okay, bye for real.